Welcome to our channel Beast Whisperer. Have you ever witnessed a moment in nature that was so unusual, so unexpected, that it left you questioning what you just saw? Today's story is exactly that. It begins with a simple act of kindness by a man who thought he was only pulling a dead leopard out of a ditch. But what happened next turned the entire situation upside down. Let's walk through the full story together, from the moment he found the animal to the shocking twist that no one saw coming. It was a quiet morning in a rural area where forests and farmlands meet. People in this region are used to seeing wild animals crossing their paths from time to time. Leopards in particular are not uncommon here. They usually stay hidden in the forest, but sometimes they wander close to villages in search of food or water. On this day, a man was walking along a dirt road near his fields. The air was still, and the only sounds were the calls of birds in the distance. As he passed by a large ditch at the side of the road, something unusual caught his eye. Lying awkwardly at the bottom was the body of a leopard. At first glance, the man thought the animal was dead. Its body was twisted in a way that suggested it had fallen and broken its neck. The fur was dusty, and there was no sign of movement. Most people would have walked away, keeping their distance from a predator like this, dead or alive. But this man did not. He felt a mix of sadness and responsibility. Even though leopards can be dangerous, they are also part of the land's natural balance. Seeing such a powerful creature lying lifeless in a ditch felt wrong to him. He decided to pull the animal out and give it a proper place instead of letting it rot in the mud. The man looked around for help, but no one was nearby. With nothing but his own hands and determination, he climbed down into the ditch. It wasn't easy. The leopard was heavy, its muscular body weighing far more than he expected. Slowly, he grabbed it by the legs and began to drag it upward. Sweat gathered on his forehead as he struggled with the weight. The ground was slippery, making every step difficult. But after a long effort, he finally managed to pull the leopard out and lay it on the road. That's when the first strange thing happened. As the animal's body hit the ground, the man noticed a faint twitch in one of its paws. He froze. For a moment, he thought he was imagining it. The leopard had looked completely lifeless a few seconds ago. Could it really still be alive? He bent down carefully, watching the chest of the animal. To his shock, he saw the faintest rise and fall, tiny breaths that were almost invisible. The leopard was not dead at all. It was unconscious, possibly from an injury or exhaustion, but very much alive. His heart began to race. The situation had suddenly become dangerous. Leopards are powerful hunters, and even an injured one can be deadly if it feels threatened. The man backed away slowly, unsure of what to do next. For a moment, he considered running, but something inside him stopped him. He had already pulled the animal out of the ditch. Leaving it here now, half alive and vulnerable, didn't feel right. He remembered stories of animals regaining strength after being given just a little help. So instead of leaving, he stood at a safe distance and waited. Minutes passed. The leopard's breathing grew steadier. Then, with a sudden jerk, it opened its eyes. Those piercing golden eyes, filled with raw power, locked onto the man. His body tensed. This was the moment he feared most. But the leopard did not attack. It struggled weakly, trying to stand, but its legs shook and collapsed beneath it. The man realized the animal was too weak to move, let alone fight. Perhaps it had fallen into the ditch during the night and had been stuck there for hours without food or water. Gathering courage, the man walked carefully to a nearby water source and filled a small container. He placed it a safe distance from the leopard and stepped back. Slowly, with great effort, the animal dragged itself closer and began to drink. Watching this, the man felt a strange connection. It was as if the predator understood that he was not an enemy, but a helper. For several minutes, the leopard drank, then rested its head on the ground, breathing more evenly now. The shocking part was not just that the leopard was alive, but how it responded to kindness. Instead of reacting with aggression, it seemed almost calm, as though it knew the man meant no harm. Later that day, wildlife officials were called to the scene. They arrived with proper equipment to check the animal's condition. After examining it, they confirmed that the leopard was not dead, but severely dehydrated and weak from being trapped in the ditch. With care, they managed to transport it safely to a rescue center where it could recover. The villagers who heard the story were amazed. Many had expected the leopard to lash out at the man, but instead the scene turned into something entirely different, a moment of silent understanding between human and beast. This story reminds us of something important. Often, what looks like the end is not really the end. The man thought he was pulling out a lifeless body, but what he actually did was save a life. His act of compassion gave the leopard another chance. Wild animals live on the edge of survival every day. A single accident, a missed step, or a shortage of water can bring them close to death. Yet sometimes, a small gesture of help can tip the balance back in their favor. It also shows us that fear and kindness can exist together. The man was afraid, anyone would be, but he still chose compassion. And the leopard, instead of choosing aggression, accepted that help in silence. So, what can we take from this? Maybe it's that nature constantly surprises us. Maybe it's that courage isn't about being fearless, but about acting with compassion even when you are afraid. Or maybe it's simply that life always finds a way, even in the most unlikely situations. Whatever lesson you take from it, one thing is clear. This was not just a story of a leopard in a ditch. It was a story of trust, survival, and the thin line between life and death. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more amazing encounters between humans and animals, make sure to subscribe to Beast Whisperer. We bring you real stories from the wild that remind us of the beauty, the mystery, and sometimes the shocking truths of nature. Thank you for listening, and until next time, stay curious and stay kind to every creature, big or small.